welcome to this week's edition of TitleTown Throwdown. I am your host, Nick LeBlanc. A lot to get to this week. Last week, we gave thanks to the players of the past. Now back to reality where we are going to do our normal thing and basically just trashing every Boston team possible, but also praise them too. So on the agenda tonight, Bruins trying to discover ways of how to host fans, create some revenue, and it may involve Fenway Park here. More on that. The Celtics, some offseason moves to get to, how they're going to pan out, and the Celtics open up the season against the Philadelphia 76ers and host Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets on Christmas Day. Patriots, they're flying out west to play the Chargers and the Rams back-to-back Sunday afternoon and then Thursday night. We'll preview that along with our NFL game picks. So a lot to get to. A lot of NFL talk I want to get to later on in a little bit. But I want to start off with really a developing tale. And this is about the Boston Bruins and how they want to host games, get this, at Fenway Park. Now, Fenway Park is no stranger to hosting games. I mean, look at this. The 2010 NHL Winter Classic against the Philadelphia Flyers. Look at that. Fenway Park jammed in a sellout crowd for the 2010 NHL Winter Classic between the Bruins and the Flyers. The Bruins ended up winning that game. They also did it again, too, in 2016, where, again, they played at Gillette Stadium, where it was the Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens, sold out Gillette Stadium. I think we all know on how that game turned out. That should not be spoken of. But now that makes you wonder, why are the Bruins considering playing at Fenway Park? They got an arena down on Causeway Street. Well, I'm going to tell you why. The Bruins and 6 other teams that include the Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim Ducks, Carolina Hurricanes, Nashville Predators, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and 2 other teams. Give me 1 minute here. I have the ESPN article right up here by Greg Wisniewski. It is the Bruins, Canes. Okay, so it is the Bruins, the Ducks, the Kings, the Penguins, the Hurricanes, Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators are all considering playing multiple outdoor games this year in order to try to create some revenue, try to create something, because, look, here in Boston, we don't know when fans are going to be allowed back at Gillette Stadium, Fenway Park, and the TD Garden. We know the Celtics are going to be playing at the TD Garden in front of no one. No fans are allowed at TD Garden as of right now until, hopefully sometime down the road that they are able to open up to 25% capacity and then hopefully build up to 50%. And truly for me, I think 50% capacity will probably be the max capacity allowed at TD Garden this season for both the Bruins and the Celtics, just to get a little bit of money revenue going here, get these players and these leagues back to a little bit of normalcy. But one thing is for certain, we will see full crowds at the TD Garden in 2021, 2022. So at some point in the calendar year 2021, we will see TD Garden, Fenway Park, and Gillette Stadium filled to the max, allow the maximum amount of fans allowed in the stadiums, and we go from there. So it's kind of interesting why the Bruins would choose Fenway Park. I mean, it makes sense. It makes the most sense because you go from Lansdowne Street down to Causeway is about maybe. I did that walk. I did that walk a long time ago, actually. It's not a bad walk. It's just very grueling. It's about maybe a 10, 15 minute, 20-minute drive across the city from where Fenway Park was located on Lansdowne, Jersey Street, all the way to Causeway where the TD Garden is, over by the Zayton Bunker Hill Bridge. So it makes sense. If you go to Gillette, again, a little bit more mobility, you can actually move the stands in. Because look at this. Look at all that space they had at Gillette Stadium. You could have easily added more seats in from the end zones and from the sidelines to not only squeeze in more people, but to make it a little bit more of a hockey-friendly environment. With Fenway Park, you can do something here to Fenway, and I have another picture of Fenway. So right here, this is the best thing I could get, and if you can see my mouse right there, you can see that maybe if you take it from the corner of where the Green Monster ends and just do a straight line to about maybe right around where the camera well is on the first base side, up to about maybe right here where the corner is prior to Pesky's pole, you can do that and just fill in some seats right here with the big wall, gigantic scoreboard / video board. And you can put in some more fans there, make it a little more fan-friendly, add some seats there, add some seats along the third base side, up against the glass, if you are able to. Obviously, the entrance to the tunnels have to go here for the visitor, the third base side, and for the Bruins, the home side, which would be the first base clubhouse, normally the Red Sox clubhouse. But that's the way how I can see them doing it. Now, there's other venues in Boston, such as Harvard, BC, one other venue. The option is so much there for the Boston Bruins, all right? And as you can see here on the bottom of your screen, the Bruins are one of 6. There are 5 other, really 7 teams if you want to think about it. 7 other teams that want to do this. Now, obviously the Bruins would need approval from state and local governments and health officials too. And they need permission from local and health officials and state, just so that way they can get the green light to host fans. Now, obviously, they need permission from the National Hockey League to do this, and they need permission from the Boston Red Sox in order to do this as well. Getting approval from the Red Sox should be a piece of cake. They've done it before. They did it again. Approval from the NHL. See, that's where it might cost. That's where it could cost really the Bruins here. And if you really think about it too, it's easier said than done. All right, it's easier said than done because the Red Sox, they might want a little bit of that revenue. Just granted, it'll be their people working the game potentially, probably not employees from the TD Garden. So it might be Fenway Park part-time employees working over there rather than TD Garden part-time employees. I don't know how they did it in 2010. None of that was explained. Frankly, if you want to be honest, that doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. But anyway, though, the Red Sox might want to cut of that kind of revenue that the Bruins will be making, that the NHL will be generating from. But that's where the NHL might be like, you see, we don't know. We don't know because so again, Fenway Park, very doable. It's in the city, a ways down from Causeway. You can block off again, right where that little video board is right there. From that corner all the way down, you block off all the center and right field bleachers. You block out the bullpens. At Gillette, maybe you might be able to get away with it. Again, add some seats right to where the light tower is, on the sidelines, around the end zones. And plus, I don't think Robert Kraft would really ask for any more revenue. The guy has Patriot Place. He'll make a fortune just from people going in there anyway. And again, Kraft will probably have his part-time employees work those games, not the TD Garden employees, but the Bruins in the NHL, they'll probably collect every single dime of that revenue. The Red Sox, Who knows? I don't think they'll ask for a revenue cut. I don't think so. But again, it's the Red Sox. It is the Red Sox. And when it comes to the Red Sox owners, God bless them. 4 World Series from us. But I think me and any other Red Sox fan out there, you can't trust John Henry as far as you could throw him. I certainly don't. But anyway, though, so that's the Bruins front. No news on Zdeno Chara. Surprise, surprise. Don Sweeney, are you listening? Bring back the captain. Look, he doesn't have to play on the first line. Stick him on the second line with Matt Grzelcyk or Kevin Miller, whoever. Stick him on the second line. Stick him on the power play. Just tell him to just put your fat carcass in front of the goalie, screen the goalie so we can get a goal. It's simple. You give McAvoy and Carlo first line minutes, and you give McAvoy, Carlo, and Grzelcyk the penalty kill minutes. Don't give Chara the penalty kill minutes. Chara's at this stage of his career that he will do whatever it takes for A, the team to win, and B, for him to hoist the Stanley Cup again. He will do whatever it takes. So Boston Bruins, please bring back Zdeno Chara. Because if I have to see Zdeno Chara in a Pittsburgh Penguins uniform or a Toronto Maple Leafs uniform or, God forbid, a Montreal Canadiens uniform, I am going to puke in my shoes and send it your way. Like, just make me think about him in that horrid Montreal red. Already gets my stomach in knots. But anyway, though, so that's what the Bruins are trying to do. I think the best option for them would be maybe Fenway Park. And look, the Bruins are thinking about maybe a rotation of maybe Fenway, BC, Harvard. The Angels going to say no. It's either Fenway, Harvard, or BC, one or the other. And most likely or not, they might go Fenway because it is a higher. I want to say a higher. The clubhouses, per se, the quote-unquote locker rooms are more professionally sized and will fit them a lot more better than, say, a college locker room would. So that's my thing on the Bruins. Anyway, the Celtics, they're set to start the season. They are set to start the season very soon. We're going to break down their schedule. Really, well, the first couple of games, realistically. That's all we can do. But we're going to review the Celtics offseason moves and what their NBA schedule looks like to start out, and what are the chances that the Celtics bring home banner number 18. All that and much more here on TitleTown Throwdown. We'll be right back after a quick message. Here, you're listening to TitleTown Throwdown on all SFBNRI platforms. And welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. We are going to have the Celtics regular season here. So first off, the Celtics are going to be playing 2 preseason games. Gotta have my glasses on here. Yep, brand new prescription glasses. Need them for reading and writing because I am apparently blind as a bat. Anyway, though, so preseason, the Celtics are going to start out against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. Both games will be played at a neutral location. You can catch the Celtics and the Sixers on TNT on Tuesday. On Tuesday, as they will be the visiting team against the Philadelphia 76ers. Then again on Friday against the Brooklyn Nets. That can be seen on ESPN 2. Let's get to the schedule that realistically matters here, okay? And really just 2 regular season games so far that we know of. So Wednesday, so the preseason game will be against the Sixers. Regular season there's only 2 of them right now. Apparently both games are going to be played. Both games should be played at both at one location, I can imagine. So on Wednesday, December 23rd, the NBA season kicks off on the 22nd. The Celtics will kick off on the 23rd. They will open up as the home team against the Milwaukee Bucks. Then on Christmas Day at 5 o'clock, the Celtics will take on the Brooklyn Nets on ABC. They'll take on Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Healthy, and let me find out where both of these games are going to be. Let me find out where both of these games are going to be, because if you're the Celtics, you really want to know their entire schedule here. But anyway, though, so the Celtics realistically open up the preseason against the Philadelphia 76ers, and they open up the regular season against the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday, December 23rd. Now, one moment here. Now let's review the Celtics offseason. They let go of Gordon Hayward. They get a nearly $30 million trade exemption, and that helps the Celtics out cap-wise, not only for free agency, but to maybe sign some other guys too if they absolutely need it. And look, the Celtics they didn't really get anything from Charlotte. They signed the contract, but the Celtics were able to get a trade exemption for him. So they finally agreed to a deal with Charlotte. Here's the thing, though: you could have had a sign and trade with the Indiana Pacers, gotten 2 players back in return, plus a trade exemption. But apparently Gordon Hayward, he did not want to go to the Indiana Pacers for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure. But then it's the Pacers. Not a horrid team, not a team that's going to blow you away, but a team that is a good regular season team, but just simply cannot get it done in the playoffs. But anyway, though, let's look at the Celtics schedule. Hopefully it is here on the Boston Celtics app, so that way we can read it together. We can learn about it together. And they are only showing me December as of right now. So right now, the Celtics, 2 games have been announced. They open up on the 23rd against the Milwaukee Bucks, and then on Christmas Day against the Brooklyn Nets. Both games are slated to be home. Say that they'll be playing at a neutral location. I don't know where that neutral location is. ESPN does not say. Does not say in the Celtics app. As soon as I find out that information, I will tell you all next week, so that way, or you can hear it for yourself. You'll probably hear from someone else first before I even get a chance to crack at it. But on Tuesday, in 2 weeks, oh my God, I am way ahead of myself here, people. So on Tuesday, the 15th, the Celtics play the preseason against the Brooklyn Nets. Then the following Friday, they open up the preseason against the Sixers, and then they play the Nets. I am all discombobulated. Ugh. Anyway, I should know information about where they're playing these games next week. I truly, 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 truly hope that I do know by next week. I know where these locations are, but again, now let's get to the actual free agent acquisitions that the Celtics did. They locked up Jason Tatum to a max contract. Great. You need Jason Tatum. He is the leader of this very young team. Him, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, and Marcus Smart. Those are your 4 top guys right now. You got to roll those 4. Kemba Walker, he's not going to be ready for the start of the season due to knee injury. But if you're Kemba Walker, though, don't rush yourself back just for the sake of playing. Don't do it. Get fully healthy, rehab properly, get back when you can. Get back when you can. There's no rush. There's no reason to rush Kemba Walker back. Right, you're starting, or the NBA season starts on December 22nd, and they're probably going to go into July and finish up just before the Summer Olympics. This is how much I'm already set for. This is how much I'm already going to be discombobulated for 2021. I'm already ready for 2022 because that'll be much better. But anyway, I think we're all ready for 2020 just to end at this point. But now the Celtics bring in a new big man after they traded Enes Kanter back to the Portland Trailblazers. Kanter goes home, to his first NBA home. And now the Celtics bring in former Cavalier Tristan Thompson. And Thompson, new environment for him, brand new team. He's ready to go. And the Celtics really need a big man. Kanter really filled the void that the Celtics have been looking for a while. And Brandon Tristan Thompson, guy is just about Kanter's size. Body mass probably a little bit bigger than Kanter was. But this will be really good for the Celtics, though. This will be really good for the Celtics. You got a big man that can help get the ball on defensively and keep some plays alive on the offensive side of the court. Because that was the issue that the Celtics really had in the Eastern Conference Final against the Miami Heat. They could not get a rebound. They could not get second chance opportunities. And then when they got those second chance opportunities, they're just chucking it up. They're just chucking it up. So I don't know what to tell you Celtic fans on that one. It mind boggles me. I don't know. I don't even know that answer. Anyway, though, the Celtics are in really good shape right now, offensively and defensively. Tristan Thompson, he should really help get some more rebounds for this team. Just look, generating rebound after rebound after rebound after rebound after rebound, and keeping offensive possessions alive is good. Because it resets the shot clock every single time. It resets everything. So you do that, bing, bang, boom. You're winning. You're winning the second chance opportunities. You're winning those off the glass battles. Something the Celtics desperately need to do. All right, the Patriots. They're not in the playoffs just yet, but their hopes are very much alive. We're going to discuss the Patriots' remaining schedule, what they need to do in order to win, and how do they fare in form of some tiebreakers. We'll tell you that right after this message. You're listening to TitleTown Throwdown on all SFNBNRI platforms. And welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. So, want to show you all something, the NFL playoff picture as it stands today. Obviously, the Patriots are not in it right now, but those are your AFC and NFC playoff teams as of right now. But interestingly enough, again, as I grab my iPad, 1 second here. Okay, here we go. We are in business. Grab my trusty glasses so that way I can see and I'm not going to be blind as a bat. Let's look at the Patriots record really right now as a whole. All right, because looking at this Patriots record right now, it's and just the way the Patriots have played all season long so far. They've had some really good games. They've had some bad games which the defense didn't show up, but the offense kept them in it. Other times which the offense didn't get there, and whatever. But here's the thing, though: the Patriots, they're not that far out of it. So right now, your wild card teams, which are, again, I'm going to pop up the graphic again. Your wild card teams in AFC are the Browns at the 5 seed, the Dolphins at the 6 seed, and the Indianapolis Colts at the 7 seed. So here's where it gets interesting. At the 8 seed, you got the 6-5 Las Vegas Raiders, a team that the Patriots beat. And the 9 seed, you got the Baltimore Ravens, who are 6-5, another team that the Patriots beat. Then there's the Patriots at the 10 seed at 5-6. So realistically, say the Patriots win, they get to 500 for the first time since week 4. Indiana and Miami, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, and Baltimore all lose. All of a sudden, you are 1 game behind the Dolphins and the Colts for a wild card spot, a playoff spot. And the Ravens and Raiders lose, you own tiebreaks over both teams. You leapfrog them, you go from 10 to 8. And it's amazing. So the teams that are behind the Patriots are, shockingly enough, teams that the Patriots have lost to. The Broncos, 4-7, a team the Patriots lost to. The Texans, 4-7, a team that the Patriots have lost to. Chargers, 3-8, a team that the Patriots are playing this week. Bengals, 2-8, Patriots don't play them. Jacksonville's 1-10, Pats don't play them, but they stink anyway. The Jets shoot up one more time, and they are just absolute garbage. So, look, if you're a Patriots fan, just throw away the Bengals, Jaguars, and the Jets. Just throw those 3 teams away. You don't got to worry about those 3 teams at all. If you beat the Chargers on Sunday, you don't have to worry about the LA Chargers. I always get mixed up with the San Diego Chargers. That's where they're from, and I'm probably going to say it for the rest of my life until they move back to San Diego, and then I'll be calling them the LA Chargers again. Anyway, though, but beware of Houston, though. Houston can make a run. Denver's capable of it. I don't think they're going to be able to. You can certainly make a run. The Ravens can get back on top. The Raiders can get back at it. The Dolphins might not lose again. The Colts have a pretty favorable schedule as well. So now we're going to have a little bit of fun here. Let me just pop it up. And we are going to preview the Patriots game in just a minute, but I want to show what I'm going to do on my iPad right now is some tiebreaker scenarios and share those with you all right now. So let's just say that the Patriots will do, in fact, win out. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Rams, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Bills, and they beat the New York Jets, which I'm pretty sure they should be capable of doing. It is the Jets after all. So that puts the Patriots at 10-6. So now, the Browns are 8-3. The Browns look like a wide end. The Browns realistically just need to win I don't know, another couple of games just to maintain that. So we'll give the Browns 2 random wins here. Let's see. Win against Ball. Let's give the Browns 3 logistical wins because, well, let's give the Browns 2 logistical wins right now. All right, so right now, both the Browns and Patriots that finished 10-6. Tiebreaker-wise, Patriots will win the 6th seed over Cleveland because the Patriots would have a better record and common conference games. Now, if the Browns were to win one of those games, say they beat either Tennessee or whoever, the Browns would stay right where they are at 11-5. Now, the Colts, they're an interesting story too. They got the Texans this week, so let's say Indy wins against Houston. Then Indy has the Raiders, say they lose to the Raiders. Week 15, they got the Texans again, say they win that one again as well. They lose to Pittsburgh, but then they play Jacksonville. So 10-6 is, so again, 10-6, the Steelers would face you win a tiebreak over the Indianapolis Colts for best win percentage in conference games. So now, let's keep on going, okay? We said the Raiders. The Raiders got the Jets this week. That's not really any competition. All right, next Raiders. I gave them a win against the Colts. Let's give them a win against the Chargers. Let's give Vegas a loss to the Dolphins because I think that is absolutely doable. And then let's give the Raiders a win over the Denver Broncos. So the Raiders 10-6. You get the 6th seed because you own the tiebreak over them strictly based off the head-to-head. And Indianapolis, but the Raiders, they get the tiebreak over the Indianapolis Colts. Next week, I promise I'll have this ESPN NFL playoff machine up on this screen so we all can see what my madness is all about. So again, let's just keep going. Let's do the Baltimore Ravens, okay? And this week, they're still going to be without Lamar Jackson, maybe, but they're playing the Cowboys, so let's give the Ravens a win right there, not in the playoffs. Week 14, Baltimore, they have the Browns. I gave the Browns a loss there. So the Ravens, that's a win for them. Back-to-back wins. Week 15, here's where it gets in. The Ravens play the Jaguars. That's a win for them. So right now, Baltimore, they are the 6th seed. You are a 7th seed because, well, basic record. Let's keep going in week 16. The Ravens play the Giants. Again, that's the winnable game for them. Week 17 could really be costly, but again, there. So the Ravens would be the 5. The Ravens would be the 5. The Browns would be the 4. And you would be the 6. So you would own head-to-head tiebreaks over both Indianapolis and Oakland. But a lot can still go wrong for the Patriots. Say the Patriots lose this week to the Chargers. I don't think it will happen, but one loss, it can knock the Patriots out. But again, let's keep the Colts right where they are. Let's keep the Indianapolis Colts right where they are at 10-6, okay? And say magically the Raiders lose to the Jets and the Ravens lose to the Cowboys. Those two teams are still 10-6. You sit at 9-7. So we gotta go another week. You beat the Rams. Say the Ravens. Say the Browns beat them. We gotta include the we forgot the Dolphins. Dolphins gotta win over the Bengals. Lose to the Chiefs. Miami, you beat them. Week 16, the Dolphins, they are playing the Raiders. I gave them the win there. Dolphins play the Bills. Let's give the Bills the win. So you would then own the tiebreaker over Miami because you beat Miami twice in the season. You would get in as a 6th seed. You would get in right there at the 7th seed because you beat Miami twice. You own the tiebreaker over them. You're in the playoffs. Miami's out. Baltimore is out too. Baltimore will be out too at 9. Baltimore will be out too at 9-7 because you own the tiebreak. And Las Vegas, they'd be out 9-7 because you own the tiebreak. So one loss will not completely kill the Patriots, but Ravens had to lose. But the Ravens had to lose 2 more times. The Raiders had to lose 2 more times. The Dolphins have to lose 3 more times. The Colts, they could lose 3. The Colts, they could lose 3 more times as well. So let's do that. Say the Dolphins do beat the Bills. Let's say the Dolphins do beat the Bills here, and I'm giving the Bills some wins right now because some wins and losses because it is possible. So right now, so again, Dolphins right now, 1 loss for Miami. It could prove costly. 1 loss for the Patriots, not as much. Not as much. But say the Patriots lose to the Rams instead. The Colts, they will need to lose one of their games. So say they lose one of their games to the Texans. You're in because you own a tiebreak over them. So there's still so much that the Patriots could lose. But if the Patriots were to lose two games, 8-8, it won't matter. So the Patriots lose 1 or 2 more times, and the teams ahead of them cannot lose, then the Patriots season is potentially over. So this week is a big game for the Patriots. They play the Chargers. And just really quick, Cam Newton, he's on the injury list with an abdomen injury, although it's most likely that Cam Newton will play. But Cam Newton, though, can we get the Newton that we saw in weeks 1, 2, and 3? And again, the Cam Newton that we saw in weeks 8, 9, 10, and 11. Can we get those 7 weeks, Cam Newton? I don't want the Cam Newton of weeks 5, 6, 7, and 12. I don't want those 4 Cam Newtons. I want the 7 Cam Newtons. Now, granted, one of the games which Cam Newton was not effective, the Patriots won the game. That was this past week against the Cardinals. Still, not that great. So we need the Cam Newton that we saw weeks 1 through 3. We need to see what Cam has done pre-COVID and what he did between weeks 8 and 11. You give me those Cam Newtons, great chance the Patriots can make the playoffs and maybe win around. Maybe win around, depending who you play. Because right now, if you finish at the 6th seed, if the Patriots were to finish at the 6th, you get either Tennessee or Buffalo. If you were to finish 7, you got the Chiefs. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing. But this is the playoff picture right now. As of yesterday, the Patriots could, by the end of the year, or maybe within the next couple of weeks, the Patriots could be in one of these 2 slots right here at either 7 or 6. One of the 2. All right. One last segment here to go. Next picks coming up. But right after TitleTown Throwdown, don't go anywhere. Keep it dialed for MMA Complete with Zach Drapo and company. They always put on a great show. So get ready for that. Next picks coming up next. You're watching TitleTown Throwdown on all SFBNRI platforms. And welcome back to TitleTown Throwdown. Need the trusty iPad one more time. It is the final segment here of the show. It is my favorite segment. I'm really hoping it's becoming your favorite segment because I love doing these every week. Nick's picks here for week 13 of the National Football League season. I want to get one thing straight. Me personally, I'm an avid football fan. I am surprised the NFL has gone this far in the season. I am really surprised with the outbreaks that they had with the Titans, the Patriots, the Ravens just recently. All the COVID issues that the National Football League has dealt with. The fact that we have gone to week 13 of the NFL season and not one game has been canceled. Every single game has been played one way or another. Great job for the NFL. The protocols are extremely flawed. We get that, but the fact that no games have been canceled is astonishing. So great job, Roger Goodell and the rest of the National Football League and the National Football League Players Association. All right, let's pick the games. You see the schedules going on the bottom of your screen. I'm still going to do it on my iPad because I want to. All right, this is going to be a great one. This is probably one of the better than 1 o'clock games that we're going to see. The 8-3 Cleveland Browns taking on the 8-3 Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry has rushed for the most yards per game in the NFL this season, averaging 114.3 yards per game. Browns, I don't know how the heck you're going to be able to stop this guy right here. I don't know. So this is going to be a very close game. I just see this going into overtime. But the Titans, though, they're just a wagon right now. But I'm going to go the Cleveland Browns in this one. I think the Browns squeaked out a 3-point win. Tennessee. Cleveland goes to 9-4. Tennessee falls to 8-4. But the Browns clinched their first winning season since 2002. No, 2007. 2007, I believe. Yep, 2007. It'll be their first winning season since 2007. All right. The Drew Breesless Saints are taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Last couple of weeks, no Drew Brees, no problem. No problem. I mean, the Saints, they just beat a team who did not have an active quarterback. Then it's the Broncos, so not much you can really say about Denver. Anyway, though, 9-2 Saints, 4-7 Falcons. The Saints have allowed only one offensive touchdown since week number 9. That means that their defense is doing good. That's why they are 9-2. That trend can, I think they give up a couple of offensive scores here, but the winning continues. I got the Saints improving to 10-2, Falcons 4-7, essentially eliminating them from any type of playoff contention that they were to hope. Not mathematically, but realistically. The 6-5 Raiders take on the 0-11 Jets. The Jets have allowed 284 passing yards per game. That's the third most in the NFL. Look, this could be a trap game for Las Vegas. This could very well be a trap game for Vegas. They got absolutely slaughtered against the Falcons last week. Slaughtered. The Jets, I don't know. They could really scare us. The Jets could probably get a win for the Steelers, get a loss. Although, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I'd bet that the Steelers lose before the Jets even win a game. Trap game for the Raiders, though, anyway, but I'm going to go the Raiders. Vegas improves to 7-5. Jets fall to 0-12. Just draft Trevor Lawrence or Trevor, just slap the Jets in the face and stay in school. But knowing you're like, you're so dead drafted by the Jets anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you do. All right, the 1-10 Jaguars taking on the 5-6 Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's won 4 of the last 5. They started out 1-5. Again, a trap game for Minnesota, but Kirk Cousins has played really well. Dalvin Cook has proven why he is one of the best running backs in the NFL right now. Again, the Jaguars nearly beat the Packers. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to draw the Vikings here. Vikings proved to 6-6. Jaguars fall to 1-11. The 2-8-1 Bengals take on the 7-4 Dolphins. Miami's allowed 18.6 points per game. That's the second fewest in the NFL. The Joe Burrow-less Bengals, even though Joe Burrow wasn't really doing much to help the Bengals anyway, win many games, not essentially his fault. But underdog Miami here. Miami goes to 8-4. Bengals fall to 2-9-1, and I don't know, essentially eliminates the Bengals. It'll essentially eliminate the Bengals from any shot of the playoffs. The 7-4 Colts take on the 4-7 Texans. The Texans are 4-3 under Romeo Crennel after they started 0-4 with Bill O'Brien. I think the Colts are the better team here. They played really well against the Packers. Played really well last week against the Titans up to about the fourth quarter. But I like the Colts here. Colts go to 8-4. Texans fall to 4-8, and that eliminates any hopes that they'll have at a playoff spot. The Texans would need a miracle. The 4-7 Lions take on the 5-6 Bears. The Bears have won 5 straight games since the Lions, but the Bears have also lost 5 straight games. The Lions, they just fired Matt Patricia last week, so that's going to be interesting too. I don't think much will change with the Lions, but maybe fortunes could change here for the Bears. Potentially, maybe Trubisky has a better game than he did Sunday night against the Packers. I'm going to go the Bears in this one. Bears finally get back in the win column. Bears 6-6, Lions fall 4-8, ends their hopes. The first place New York Giants take on the first place Seattle Seahawks. Only difference is one team has a winning record. The other team plays in the NFC East. I think you know which team plays. Seattle's won 4 straight games since the Giants. The Giants somehow are atop of the NFC East division at 4-7. That's how bad that division is. First place Giant fans, I think your team takes a hit here. They fall to 4-8. Seahawks improve to 9-3. Seahawks have yet another winning season under Pete Carroll, and they could be flying their way to a division title. This will be a good NFC West matchup to watch out for. The 7-4 LA Rams take on the 6-5 Arizona Cardinals. The Rams are 6-0 against the Cardinals since Sean McAvoy became head coach in 2017. This is going to be a close game. I'm going to lead towards the Arizona Cardinals here. Cardinals improved to 7-5. They rebound after a tough loss against New England. Rams fall to 7-5. And they will face a tough test against the Patriots team, who will be in LA anyway to take on the Chargers. Look, Justin Herbert, candidate for Rookie of the Year award. MVP, not really. Hasn't really done much, but I wouldn't be surprised by it. But the one thing that's going for the Patriots in this game is that the Chargers can't hold a lead. The Chargers can't hold a lead. So that's that. So there's that. So I'm going to know the Patriots here. Patriots finally get back to 500 for the first time since week 4. They go to 6-6, and the Chargers will fall to 4-3-9, and that'll eliminate the Chargers from any chances of them trying to catch up for the Patriots. So right now, this week will turn into a good week for the Patriots, despite potential wins from both the Dolphins and the Raiders. All right. Other late game, the 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 8-3 Green Bay Patriots. Green Bay's 11-2 at home since 2019. Look, it's Aaron Rodgers. Carson Wentz, he's not the answer in Philadelphia. I'm not sure about Doug Peterson's job security. I believe it should be okay, but Carson Wentz, don't be surprised if he gets pulled mid-game for Jalen Hurts. Patriots improved to 9-3. Eagles fall to 3-8-1, and the Eagles basically take themselves out. Simple as that. All right, Sunday Night Football, a trap game. It could be a decent game. The 4-7 Denver Broncos, who will have a quarterback this week. The Broncos will have a quarterback this week. They take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 10-1. Chiefs have won 10 straight games against the Broncos. Again, a trap game for Kansas City here. But Denver, though, they're actually going to be playing with a legitimate quarterback this week. Drew Lock's back. Their backup's back. Their backup is back. So it'll be a much closer and much better game this time around for the Broncos. I just don't think they're going to squeak out a win here. Chiefs go to 11-1. Broncos fall to 4-8. And essentially, the Broncos, their win against the Patriots earlier this year will mean nothing. All right. Monday Night Football double dip. Yeah, we're double dipping Monday Night Football this week. So those of you who saw me on, and that's the game earlier with Matt Jolie's, I messed up on this earlier, so I want to correct myself right now. It is Washington and Pittsburgh at the 5 o'clock spot on Monday night. Steelers are 11-0. Washington is 4-7, but they have a chance to take a lead over the Giants for the NFC East. Amazingly. Ben Roethlisberger is 4-0 against Washington in his career, even though these teams only meet up, once every 4 seasons. Look, the Steelers, 11-0, they deserved it. They have beaten the teams that they should have beaten, but they've also let a lot of teams stay into games. They squeaked out a 5-point win over the Ravens last night. So, I don't know. This could be a trap game for Pittsburgh. I don't want to say that this is an easy win for them because no one in the National Football League is easy. But I think the Steelers continue their undefeated run here. They go to 12-0. Washington falls to 4-8. And still basically will be in second place because the Giants will still own a tiebreak over them. That's the life of being a team in the NFC East. You can win this division at 5-11, essentially. That's how bad this division. That's how bad this whole. I'm ready to start a petition if we can keep the NFC East out of the playoffs, but I know it's not possible. All right, the actual regularly scheduled Monday Night Football game at 8:15. The 8-3 Buffalo Bills taking on the 5-6 49ers. The 49ers, they've been a gritty team. The Bills have lost 4 straight Monday Night Football games, and this is one of 2 Monday night games for them this year. Fun fact about this game, it is not being played in San Francisco, Santa Clara County. It is being played in Arizona because Santa Clara County has banned contact sports for 3 weeks to help stop the spread of COVID-19. A trap game for the Bills. The Niners were a trap game for the Ravens the Rams last week. 49ers, they pulled out the upset. I think the 49ers could pull off the upset here again. Buffalo's already lost in Arizona once this year. Why not twice? I don't think to the same extent, though. So Niners, 6-6. They stay in the NFC playoff race. Bills fall to 8-4 and go into a flat-footed tie with the Miami Dolphins. How about some Tuesday night football? This is the Tuesday night game slot. The 3-8 Dallas Cowboys are taking on the 6-5 Ravens. Baltimore's lost 4 of their last 5 games. They started out 5-1. They were without Lamar Jackson yesterday, who is still on the COVID-19 reserve list. Although Lamar Jackson, he could be activated for this game. which will be a huge boost to the Ravens, who could really use them. It's the Cowboys. I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to see past this season. Ravens get back in the win column. Ravens go to 7-5. Dallas will fall to 3-9 and will basically eliminate themselves from the playoffs. All right. That'll do it for TitleTown Throwdown this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You can catch this. You can catch a replay of the show right here on Facebook. You can also see it on Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube, and all of our other social media platforms. Zach Drapo and the crew for MMA Complete are coming up next. But thank you for joining me here for TitleTown Throwdown. I will talk to you next Thursday to preview the Patriots game. Yeah, I finally get to do a pregame for a Patriots game. That's going to be fun. All right. Talk to you all next week. Adios.